Hello everyone, my name is Richard David Tedja. I am an undergraduate student at the Department of Informatics at Pelita Harapan University in Jakarta. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee for this amazing experience to be able to participate in the 2021 8th International Conference on Information Technology, Computer and Electrical Engineering, organized by the Department of Computer Engineering, Diponegoro University in Semarang. On behalf of the co-authors Dr. Murwantara and Dr. Pujianto Yugopuspito, today I will present our paper titled Comparing Load Balancer Algorithms Performance on Virtualized Environment. So first, I would like to elaborate the motivation of our research. When we talk about cloud computing architectures, it has to involve some form of workload. Workload is defined as a specific application, service, or other forms of computation that is run on a cloud computing environment. The need for proper workload balancing arises as there is a significant increase on data traffic volume and user demand for computational resources during peak time, which in turn causes resources to be fully utilized and leaving no room for additional requests to be handled. This problem is commonly known as server overloading. Now, in cloud computing, principles of elasticity aims to overcome this overloading issue, by scaling system resources to increase or decrease capacity according to traffic demand or workload. A solution to achieve maximized elasticity in cloud computing is to implement a load balancer system configured with an algorithm that has the best performance to balance incoming workloads, so that there are no overloaded nor underloaded nodes. In practice, implementing a load balancer system with the best performing algorithm enables a cloud environment to make use of its available resources, thus subsequently improve scalability and ultimately reducing response time. So, an effort has been done in previous research to compare cloud computing load balancer algorithms. However, the results of such experiments are interpreted solely by descriptive observation and may not produce the most accurate conclusions. Our research attempts to fulfill this research gap with the use of data analytics. To obtain our conclusion, we use a predictive data analytic approach to determine a load balancer algorithm that has the best performance based on various workload characteristics. So this research aims to compare the performances of three load balancing algorithms, which are round-robin, least connection, and weighted least connection. Round-robin is a load balancing algorithm which implements a static scheduling mechanism. The concept of this algorithm uses a time scheduling approach to divide workload from one server onto another in equal portions and in circular order. So on the other hand, a least connection implements a dynamic scheduling mechanism where the server with the least number of connections will be allocated with the next workload in queue. Similar to least connections, weighted least connection also allocates the next workload in queue to the server with the least number of connections. The main difference between the two algorithms is the use of a performance weight, which is defined as a constant number which best reflects the capacity and capability of each server. The server administrator assigns a weight to each server to demonstrate its capability to handle workload. The servers with a higher weight value will receive a larger percentage of active connections. And for our research, we raised two research questions. The first one: how does a load balancer perform under various workloads within a virtualized environment? And the second one: what is the algorithm that has the best performance that could be implemented on a load balancer within a virtualized environment under various workload characteristics? As for the methodology used in our work, we use Amazon Web Services or AWS to host 3 virtualized environment instances. 2 instances installed with Apache will function as backend web servers, and the other one is installed with HAProxy, an open source load balancer. To simulate real server traffic conditions, various levels of workloads will be applied onto the load balancing system using Apache JMeter. We use 6 JMeter test plans to simulate different characteristics of workload. The experiment starts with test plan 1, which is a light workload consisting of one thread with one ramp-up period and 5 loops. Next, the workload gradually increases with test plan 2 consisting of 30 threads with 6 ramp-up period and 5 loops. Test plan 3 consisting of 100 threads and 40 ramp-up period and 5 loops. Test plan 4 consists of 1000 threads with 100 ramp-up period and 6 loops. Test plan 5 consists of 5000 threads with 500 ramp-up period and 6 loops. And finally, test plan 6, which has the heaviest workload, consisting of 10,000 threads with 800 of ramp-up period and 7 loops. We repeated the experiment for all 3 algorithms. As for the experiment on the weighted least connection algorithm, the weights are assigned in pairs of odd numbers and even numbers with a range of 1 to 20. Odd number weights are assigned to backend server 1 and even number weights are assigned to backend server 2. After the workload testing experiment is concluded, data is collected from 2 sources, which are the HAProxy statistics and the JMeter test report. Then we perform data cleansing to remove unnecessary data. As for the data collected from the HAProxy statistics, only the parameters stot and srate, which are the number of threads received and session rate respectively, are obtained for further analysis. For the data obtained from the JMeter report, only the parameters samples and throughput, which are the number of threads sent and the session send rate respectively, are obtained for further analysis. All collected data will then be combined into 3 CSV files based on the algorithm being tested. So each algorithm has its own CSV files containing experiment data. And these 3 CSV files will be used for further analysis. Using the datasets mentioned earlier, we perform a receiver operating characteristics or ROC analysis on several machine learning algorithms using the trained dataset in order to construct a machine learning model that is the most suitable to predict the best performing load balancing algorithm. So the 3 machine learning algorithms that has the highest area under ROC curve or the highest AUC, which is a measurement of the ability of a classifier to distinguish between classes, will then be selected to be inserted to the machine learning model used for predictions. Those 3 machine learning algorithms that has the highest AUC level is AdaBoost with an average AUC of 0.839, K nearest neighbor with an average AUC of 0.802, and random forest with an average AUC of 0.791. Now let's take a look at the ROC analysis figures. The orange curve represents the ROC curve for AdaBoost. The green curve represents the ROC curve for random forest, and the purple curve represents the ROC curve for K nearest neighbor. First, we'll take a look at figure 4, which is the ROC analysis figure for round robin as a target class. So in this figure, we see that AdaBoost is the best algorithm used for predicting round robin data with a AUC of 0.869. The second best algorithm for this target class is random forest with an AUC of 0.811, and the least best algorithm to predict round robin data classes is k-nearest neighbor with an AUC of 0.770. Next, we move on to figure 5, which is the ROC curve analysis for least connection data. The same results are obtained. AdaBoost is the best algorithm for predicting this data class with an AUC of 0.796, and random forest is the second best with an AUC of 0.751, and k-nearest neighbor is the least best algorithm with an AUC of 0.709. In the next figure, we see an ROC analysis for weighted least connection data class. It is found that k-nearest neighbor is the best algorithm when predicting weighted least connection data classes with an AUC of 0.871. AdaBoost is the second best with an AUC of 0.857, and random forest is the least best with an AUC of 0.803. So the next step is we make a prediction to predict the best load balancing algorithm based on the experiment data that we have collected. So predictions are done using a test dataset which contains 10 sampled experiment data instances. From the analysis and prediction that has been done, we found that AdaBoost predicted weighted least connection algorithm as the best load balancing algorithm on 8 out of 10 or 80% of sampled data instances. Random forest predicted weighted least connection algorithm is the best load balancing algorithm on 10 out of 10 or 100% of sampled data instances, while k-nearest neighbor predicted weighted least connection algorithm is the best algorithm on 8 out of 10 or 80% of sampled data instances. So finally, we have come to a conclusion that our research successfully compared the performance of 3 load balancing algorithms, which are round robin, least connection, and weighted least connection, with weights ranging from 1 to 20. Based on the prediction output, weighted least connection is predicted to have the best performance when compared to round robin and least connection, and therefore it is the most suitable algorithm to be used based on the number of threads received and session rate. So that is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention, and I will be happy to answer any questions.